Lisa, did you get my email?
I don't think so, because my computer died.
You and that computer. Well, we're just not gonna talk about the definition essay today.
Oh, okay.
So, we didn't talk about the definition essay yet, did we? I didn't think so.
We're not talking about it today?
We're gonna talk about it today.
Oh, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, you had me worried. I thought, man, am I off today? I said, no, you don't have to have anything done today. We are going to talk about it today. I did actually get the compare and contrast graded. I didn't think I would, but I did. So, man, I'm on a roll. Like a little kid sitting up here.
Just a curious question, but would you prefer to be in bed warm or cold?
Oh, I gotta be cool. Gotta be cool.
Yeah.
Got to be. Can't stand to be hot.
Room cold, bed.
No, I'm kicking covers off all the time.
Normally I like face cold and body warm.
No. We fight. My husband's got covers up over his head and I've got things kicked off. No, gotta be cool.
I get mad when I wake up sweating.
Is your new mattress cool?
So,
Have you figured it out yet?
did I talk to you with it?
Well, you said you got rid of your inner spring and went with the Tempur-Pedic.
And I was worried that it was gonna be hot, so I asked the salesman, and he was like, no, the mattress that you have now is actually warmer. And I trusted him, and then I got this Tempur-Pedic home, and it was hot as all get out.
Really?
So then,
Call back.
well, so I was like looking at cooling mattress pads, but I feel like I can't trust anything on the internet. Half the people say that they're good, half they
Yeah.
say that. So I went and got one, and it works.
Really? But you pay so much for a mattress.
We could have paid $2,000 more and get the cooling one.
I think that's what my sister did.
Yeah, those ones
Yeah,
were
she
like
says-
6,000 something.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, crazy. It's crazy. I know.
I'm paying a couple hundred for a mattress, so I'll just replace it every couple of years.
No, you know, mattresses are like, you guys might understand this out of your constructions. Mattresses are like windows, they're kind of like shoes. You don't skimp on those things.
Yeah, but when I was
Yeah, you
younger,
put most of it-
I could sleep anywhere and
Well,
it didn't
yeah,
matter.
but as you get
Now-
older, you gotta have good fitting shoes. You gotta have good windows in your house that don't leak, and you gotta have a mattress that supports and helps you sleep. Cause let's face it, we're in bed almost, a third of our life,
Yeah.
so, darn right. Well, I told you we had bought a puffy, which is totally memory foam. And it's
Those ones are super heat retentive.
well, it's not too bad, really.
Really?
It's supposed to be cool, but we've had it 4 years now, and we have the two twins, because that's how our business. And I'm having issues, and I can't afford another, that was $3,000. And I'm like, I'm sleeping in the chair. Cause Tony's still sleeping okay. I don't know what we're gonna do.
The good thing about ours is that we had a year comfort guarantee on it, and still, I mean, if we decided we didn't want this one, we could change
Right.
it out. But also because of the brand, it's got a warranty on it, so if at any time in the next 10 years it even loses a half an inch,
Right.
then you get it.
Then you can get new ones now. Mine's supposed to have a lifetime limited guarantee, but I don't know what the heck it is.
I showed another person my.
Crazy.
How much I'm getting paid.
It should not be this expensive. Life should not be this expensive, right?
Cause you've been living there for 10 years. Yeah.
It is very expensive to be alive, and it's more expensive to die than the cost of a funeral. All right, good morning, don't we love our conversations to start off class. And in case anybody cares, the average cost of a funeral is about $12,000. Boom.
Yeah, I'm worth way more dead than I am alive. Between life insurances and all that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna lose a lot of life insurance when I make 13 after I retire, so I told my husband, if you're gonna kick me off, you better hurry up and do it now, because I'm gonna lose about $150,000 in life insurance when I leave here, so, anyway. Well, we have a new essay to start, right? Yes? Such enthusiasm, just love it, okay? You guys kill me. And I'm the only one that is really enthusiastic about writing essays.
Yeah, fun.
Apparently so, okay, all right. Well, I did get your compare and contrast graded, however, I won't hand these back to you till the end of the class period. I wanna go ahead and discuss the definition essay and go through the requirements of it. And Friday will be a work day where you will first get your compare and contrast completed and get it turned in, and then the definition, we will continue to work on that. We will have rough draft due Monday. Monday, all right? As I went through the, compare and contrast, for the most part, I mean, I literally, folks, went through and marked the points and that type of thing so I could find them. And then I would compare it to your workshop sheets, and some of you didn't, find the points. Then I know that, well, there weren't 5 points. So when you get these back and it says there's not 5 points, or you only have 3 points or whatever, it wasn't just because I couldn't find them. A lot of times it correlates right along with the workshop. So that's probably the biggest issue on a few of them. Everybody did a really good job on whether it was point by point or block. Nobody really, went back and forth. So I will turn those back at the end of the class period. I don't want to turn them back now, because then you'll mess with them and you won't listen to what definition essay is all about, right? Okay, so on page, what page? What? Thank you. I see you already had you top, ready to go. On page 107 in your black binder, we are starting a new essay. I like this essay. I think you will too. I think this is an essay where it's kind of your opportunity to be a little bit philosophical, okay? Give your opinion on what you think about something, how you feel about something. I'm gonna use the F word, feel, okay? I got some attention there, all right. So let's talk about definition, defining things, and what that all means. Okay. Now, I apologize to those of you who have had me in speech or intro to comp. You're going to get a little bit of the same lecture. I'm sorry. But it's the same information when we talk about language as we talk about in writing, so you're going to get repeat. So bear with me, a couple of you, okay? All right. So I can ask you guys the questions and you should know the answers, correct? So yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right, awesome, good, okay. When we define something, what are we doing? If I tell you to define something for me, what does it mean?
Giving you like the definition.
Describing what it means.
You mean and examples, yes. What were you saying, Austin?
Describing what something means.
Describing something, yes. We can do it in a lot of different ways. Yes, sir.
Details.
Details, absolutely. Okay, so when we define something, there are many different ways that we can do it, all right? And we'll talk about those different ways. The first thing we have to do is understand that there are several different types of definitions. And here's the repeat for those of you that have had me before. Okay, so we have 2 different meanings of words. We have a denotative meaning, denotative, which my past students or current students, what does denotative mean? D is for?
Definition.
And it means, you're killing me.
Definition.
Dictionary. D for dictionary. D for the agreed upon meaning. Okay? It's agreed upon meaning. We can't argue about it. I'll give you an example in a minute. The other one is the connotative meaning. And, can someone help me out on this one?
It's not dictionary.
It's not dictionary.
It's your own personal twist.
It's your own personal twist. Thank you. It's your own personal meaning. Yes. Okay. So, Chris, what is this?
Chair.
Are you sure? I'm picking on him because he's heard this several times. Is it a chair? It's not a dolphin, okay? If I bring you to class and I pull this out and I say, what is this? You're gonna tell me it's a chair, right? But what if I said, no, it's not, it's a dolphin. Kara, come have a seat on the dolphin. You're gonna look at me and she's gonna go, man, Brenda's having a stroke. This is not right. she's losing it, okay? It is not a dolphin. Why is it not a dolphin? Dolphin swims in the ocean, the mammal, right? If we look it up in the dictionary and we look up a dolphin, it's gonna tell us it's a sea creature that is a warm-blooded mammal, swims in the ocean. If we're gonna look up a chair, the dictionary is gonna tell us that it's an apparatus to sit on, recline on, usually has 2 to 4 legs, something of that nature. We have a defined definition, dictionary, agreed upon, right? The word is not necessarily the thing. We have given meaning to the thing by a word. Got that? The word is not necessarily the thing. We have given meaning to the thing, and that's the word we give to it. But if I look up the word chair in the dictionary, I'm going to have a number of different examples of what chair might be. Can anyone else give me another definition of the word chair?
Head of office.
Pardon?
Head of office.
Head of office. Perfect. You are the chairperson or chairwoman or chairman of a committee. Okay? So, the word chair has multiple different meanings, but they're agreed upon meanings. Alright? If we have a connotative meaning of something, we all have our own little personal twist to it. We have our own interjection of what something means to it. That does not necessarily mean that there's not what we call a qualifying definition, meaning, this is what a certain field of study calls something or refers to it. Kara's gone into nursing, okay? What's your definition of an alcoholic? And I'll explain why the nursing comes into part here. What's your definition of an alcoholic?
Somebody who has physical withdrawals and they don't drink.
Okay, physical withdrawals, don't drink. Or what's your definition of an alcoholic?
I guess somebody drinks like every day.
Every day? I don't, Austin, what do you think? Your definition?
Joe Horn, but someone who can't walk straight
Someone can't walk straight, okay. Anybody else?
or
I have
blur your
another
vision.
one.
Okay, what's yours?
Someone who's drinking makes their life unmanageable.
Manageable, okay. Every single one of you would probably have some type of different type of definition, okay? But when Kara gets down into nursing school, and in a couple of years, and I ask her, Kara, what's your definition of alcoholic? She may give me her connotative meaning. More than likely, she's also going to give me a denotative meaning, because through her studies, she's going to find that they're going to have a qualifying definition. And if I would go down and ask a nursing instructor now, well, an alcoholic is typically defined as whether you're male or female and how many drinks per hour you have depending on your weight, blah, 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 blah. That's a qualifying definition, okay? So that's kind of a standard definition or a denotative meaning. But we each have our own separate connotative meanings. Let's take another word, genius. What does genius mean to you? What does the word genius mean to you?
Smart.
Smart? Jane, what do you think? Genius. Give me a definition. You say.
I don't know.
When you think of genius, what do you think?
In the boxing world, they prefer genius as someone who knows how to land punches.
Okay, in the boxing world, it's someone that's really good at what they do. Rylan, seeing you around the corner there, what do you think? Smart? Anyone?
Innovative.
Innovative. Anybody else? Okay. You guys had psychology, right? Okay. It was kind of funny because yesterday in my English comp class, we were doing this very same thing, and it was so funny because one of the girls said, oh, I just came from psychology, and we just talked about this, and it was called IQ. It was IQ. So if I went over to Renee and I said, Renee, what's the definition of genius? Qualifying definition for her is a genius is typically someone who has, I believe the IQ is 155 or higher, okay? But not necessarily, in my mind, that's a genius. I can't help but think of the Big Bang Theory, and I think of Sheldon Cooper, okay? Sheldon supposedly has an IQ of something like 185 or whatever it might be, it's off the charts. And, but is Sheldon really a genius? You know, he can't drive, he has no communication skills, he's sarcastic, he has no social skills, okay? But he's considered a genius. So when we talk about defining things or definition of words, we have typically a denotative meaning, agreed upon meaning, And then we have that connotative meaning. What do things mean to us? And I can't leave out this word, and I just gotta pick on somebody. What does love mean to you, Joe?
Somebody I can't live without.
Somebody you can't live without. Paul, we could love.
Dating?
Hmm?
Dating?
Dating? What do you think, Nick?
I'll go with, someone I can't live without.
Someone you can't live without? Okay. Can you live without pizza?
No,
Do you love pizza?
yes.
Who loves pizza? Alright, yeah, that's probably, pizza ranks up there pretty high in my book. Until you get a bad one, and then it's like, then you can't eat it for a while. Do we love pizza as much as we love this is always an open-ended question. Do we love pizza as much as we love our significant other? Or our parents, or our grandparents?
Depends on the day.
Depends on that's always an open-ended question, so it gets there, okay. I always ask students, okay, do you love your dog more than you love your spouse? Yeah. Okay, the whole point is here, there are different levels of some words, okay? The Greeks have, 7 levels of the word love, and it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy means a little bit. But, you know, the basic, love is a love of things, which I think pizza falls in that category. Yeah, I love a good pizza. I absolutely love a good pizza. Do I love pizza as much as, I love having a day off? Probably not. I'd rather have a day off than pizza. Do I love a day off as much as I love my husband? Nah, I think probably ranks up there a little higher, you know? So, we build, and the Greeks built where they have, you know, self-love, and then their highest level of love is agape love, which is the love of a higher being or a spiritual being, God, or, you know, whoever you worship. For the Greeks, it was their gods with a lower G, okay? So, defining something has 2 distinct meanings. We have to understand those two, because you're gonna write about the denotative meaning of a word, and then you're gonna incorporate your connotative meaning. And you're gonna do that through examples, description, telling a story, or whatever it might be, okay? So on page 107, as we look in those green arrows, I'm going to give you a choice of 7 words in the big old middle green arrow. Honesty, patriotism, winning, sadness, ethics, justice, or beauty. You're going to choose one of those words, 107, big green arrow in the middle. You're gonna choose one of those words, and you're gonna look up that word, and you're gonna find out what the denotative meaning of that word is. For example, if we looked up the word love, we would probably find the dictionary saying something, I believe it says, complete fondness or affection for something, okay? But then as we go down a little bit farther, any of you play tennis? Do you know what the score 0 is in tennis? It's love. It's love, love. So if you ever watch a tennis match, they might say 30 love, 40 love. Love is 0, okay? So it has its own denotative meaning. But I want you to find the meaning that fits best how you feel, okay? So if you choose the word love, and you want to write about that, you're gonna have probably well, I'll tell you the one that really has quite a few is like ethics and justice or beauty. Those, you Google those words, and you know, Webster's gonna tell you something, and then it's gonna give you a whole bunch more, different definitions. Find that definition that's closest to how you feel, okay? I wanna give an example of the word beauty. Rocked my world. I was blown away. Never did I ever think I would get this from a young man, and I was terribly impressed. He gave the definition of the word beauty from Webster's, which I can't remember what Webster says now, you have to look it up. And then he says, to me, beauty is being able to take an old heap of junk car and turn it into a classic automobile. Wow, I thought that was great. And he proceeded to explain the beauty that he sees in a vehicle, especially in a classic car. I was impressed. I was very impressed, because usually beauty is like, oh, somebody who's got special characteristics, or sometimes we talk about inner beauty, but it really pulled out what beauty meant to him, okay? So your job or your goal in this essay is to give us a denotative meaning, according to Webster, according to whoever, blank, I'll just say love. Love is. And you put it in quotes and you tell us what it is. To me, this is your thesis statement. To me, love is. And you tell us. Okay, we'll look at some examples here in a minute. So that's your introduction. Again, objective versus subjective. Denotative, connotative. You see the correlation there between the two? And we're kind of coming all, making full circle with how we've written things. You have written your first two essays subjectively, totally in a connotative meaning, is what you thought. Then we wrote a compare and contrast, which was written strictly objectively, or in a denotative manner, according to, this is how it is, you have sources. Well, now we're putting them both together, all right? So you're gonna start out by choosing one of these words, okay? You're gonna form your thesis statement by identifying the standard definition or the dictionary definition, and then you're gonna tell your reader what it means to you. Now, we can go about that doing, just like these gentlemen said, we can describe, we can tell stories, we can give examples, we can use the history of a word. Ethics is a good one, you know, ethics, I can't remember what, if you look up ethics, what the Greek or the Latin origin was. Anybody, did I go to TMP? Some of the students that went to TMP took Latin. Every once in a while I'll have somebody, they say, yeah, we gotta take Latin, so we know the origin of the word, so I laugh. But every once in a while somebody will know a little bit about Latin and understand what the root word is, or the etymology of the word. I like flowers. I love different flowers and everything. And so when I'm looking up flowers, they always have what they call the genus of the flower, which is the origin of it, and that's only Latin, okay? Do I remember those? Heck no. I just remember the daisy or the rose or whatever. But you can write this in a number of different ways. You can use a synonym, which is a different word for something. You can use examples. You can tell a story, a narrative, whatever you want to do. Let me give you a little hint here. The easiest way to do this, but again, easy isn't always the best way. The easiest way to do this, and we're going to look at an example here, is to choose a word and then give 3 examples of it. Okay? So if you flip over to page 112, if you flip over to page 112, we have the word winning. Now, ignore the numbers in front of the paragraph. That's simply to show that this was a 5-paragraph essay. You do not have to do that. But let's look at this real quick. And this author gave us 3 simple examples of what winning meant, okay? So we start out with, the dictionary defines winning as. Please note this is in quotation marks because we're taking it somewhere verbatim. We need to have quotes. You do not need a works cited for this, okay? You do not, because you're telling me right there, according to. So the dictionary defines winning as, quote, achieving victory over others in a competition, receiving a prize or reward for achievement. Yet some of the most meaningful, let's try this again. Some of the most meaningful wins in my life were victories over no other person, and I can remember winning when there was no prize for performance. To me, winning means overcoming obstacles. Right there's our thesis statement. This is what you're going to tell us about now, okay? First example. My first experience of winning occurred in elementary school gym. Nearly every day after the preparatory push-ups and squat thrusts, we had to run relays. Although I had asthma as a child, I won many races. My chest would burn terribly for a few minutes, but it was worth it to feel so proud. Not because I'd beaten others or won a prize, but because I'd overcome a handicap. By the way, I outgrew my asthma by age 11. A very short, simple example of what winning meant. In high school, I had another experience of winning. Although I loved reading about biology, I could not bring myself to dissect a frog in lab. I hated the smell of the dead animals, and the idea of cutting them open disgusted me. Every time I tried, my hands would shake and my stomach would turn. Worst of all, my biology teacher reacted to my futile attempts with contempt. After an upsetting couple of weeks, I decided to get a hold of myself. I realized that I was overreacting. The animals were already dead, I told myself. With determination, I swept into the next lab period, walked up to the table, and with one swift stroke, slid open a frog. After that, I excelled in biology. I had won again. Final example. I consider the fact that I am now attending college winning. To get here, I had to surmount many obstacles, both outside and inside myself. College costs money, and I don't have much of it. College takes time, and I don't have much of that either, with a little son to care for. But I overcame these obstacles, and a bigger one still. Lack of confidence in myself. I had to keep saying I won't give up, and here I am winning. So this was a perfect analogy, perfect example of just showing 3 different ways what winning meant to this author. Let's look at the conclusion. Simple wrap-up. These examples should clarify what winning means to me. I don't trust anything that comes too easily. In fact, I expect the road to be rocky, and I appreciate a win more if I have to work, sacrifice, and overcome. This is a positive driver for me, the very spirit of winning. See how the author went back, took what the word meant and what it meant to them, and incorporated it. Now, other ways that you can do this, for example, if you want to tell a narrative, tell a story, you can write about an event, just a one-time event if you want to. I'm trying to think back of a couple of essays I've had. I had an essay one time on honesty, and it was a bit of a humorous story, and yet pretty traumatic for this young writer when he was little. I think everybody's probably guilty of this at some point in time. You stole that gumball off the shelf or whatever it was, and you got caught, and your mom and dad drug you back in there, and you had to tell the store clerk, after you had his mouth full of gum, oh, I took his gumball, you know, and what happens to you? Well, somebody told the entire story, what happened to them when they were little, took a package of gum, got out in the car, Mom, where'd you get that gum? You know, and then the student continued to tell the story of what happened to them, how they had to go back in, and it was very descriptive. It goes back to that very first essay we wrote, very descriptive of how humiliating it was, even though being 6, 7 years old, took this gum, and then suffering the consequences of what happened. And then they rerouted how their life is now, that was a foundation of just that one event has instilled in them that aspect of honesty is the best policy, or you need to be honest in everything you do, okay? So it's a good story, all right? And brought it back to how things are today. Again, maybe you choose to look up the word and see how it's changed your society. I think ethics is a good word to use if you're interested in going back and looking at what we call the etymology of the word, the foundation of the word, and what does ethics mean, and how that's changed your society. This could be a big argument in class here, a big discussion, but I think most of us who are a little bit older realize how ethics have changed a lot. I'll throw out, here's one that I've had students write on, they talk about work ethic, okay? And again, I am not picking on your generation. I am not picking on your generation. Work ethic has changed. I'm just gonna be honest, it has changed. I don't know if it's the fault of society, I don't know whose fault it is, I don't know, I just know it's changed, okay? And I'll use one example of that. You guys familiar with Schwann's or Tony's Pizza in Salina? The plant. Okay, you all heard Tony's Pizza, right? The frozen pizzas, or the Schwann's truck that goes around. This is Schwann's Quarter. They have a big plant in Salina. Trying to think of how I heard the radio ad. To me, this is how work ethic has changed. I gotta get this right. Not only are they offering sign-on bonuses and that type of thing, but if you're an employee there and you come to work on time every day for a period of, I think it was 2 weeks, you get an extra $100. I'm driving down the road, and my generation, I'm thinking, well, that's bunk. You're supposed to be there on time no matter what. That's what you get paid for. Why are they giving an extra $100 for you being there on time? That should be a given. Your generation may not see it that way. I don't know. To me, my generation believes you need to be here in class. You're paying darn good money to be here. Some generations or work ethic might say, it's my money, I can do what I want, I don't want to come to class, you know, so again, work ethic is different. I basically have had 3 major jobs in my life, okay, three major jobs. The average person now will have upwards of 8 to 10 jobs in their lifetime. The average college student will change majors 4 to 5 times when they're in college. This all goes back to the word ethics, how the word has changed through the years. And you can do that with any of these. You can do this with the word beauty, not any of them. So that's just an example of things that you can do. You know, I remember, now you guys weren't even, I was little in the 1960s, but anyway, I remember in the 1960s, the word beauty, what defined beauty was the very thin, skinny, almost anorexic looking models. If you guys are not knowing who I'm talking about, you look at the word Twiggy. There was a model from the early 60s who looked like they were anorexic and horrible. That was beauty, okay? Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Then we went through a period in the early 90s, late 90s, where we, people like me, Rubenesque women, who are more full-figured, were considered a little bit more on the beauty side, so we had a little bit of change there. Now we're kind of going back to the models, and you know, we have that, just kidding you. You know, now we're going back to the models of the perfect bodies are now the more beauty, okay? So how things have changed in society. So you get the idea of what you gotta do, right? Choose one of those words, give me the standard meaning, dictionary meaning, denotative meaning, give me your connotative meaning, and then proceed to give me your examples, tell a story, history of the word, how it's changed, however you wish to do it, okay? One more quick example. This one incorporates a story plus several examples. This is my story, and this is patriotism. Patriotism is a great word to write on. I think it's a great word to write on. Because we all have different meanings of what it is to be a patriot, okay? Patriotism is defined as, quote, love for or devotion to one's country, according to Webster's dictionary. By the way, I wrote this in 2012, and I find it so ironic that nothing has changed since 2023. Okay. I see patriotism as a complex subject matter, with the struggles our country and Americans themselves face daily. My definition of patriotism has changed dramatically over the years. It is no longer simply standing up and saying the Pledge of Allegiance, but now exercising our right to vote to put the appropriate elected officials in office to continue to make America the greatest country on earth. This was during a presidential year when I wrote it, so to me, that's what patriotism was about at that point in time. As a young child, I had a brother who served in Vietnam. I also had a brother who served in Germany and a sister who served stateside. All were serving close to the same time. Even though my siblings were much older than myself, I felt a sense of pride that they were doing what our country had called them to do. I particularly remember my brother who served in Vietnam. Mostly what I remember is the constant worry that my mother went through. Many times it would be months before we would hear anything from him. I do remember my mom baking him a birthday cake and packaging it oh so carefully, using popcorn as the packaging. I wondered how that cake would reach him halfway around the world, but Mom did not seem to care. She was going to mail it anyway. His birthday was in June, and we did not hear anything from him until August, but he said it was the best, quote, popcorn cake he had ever had. Everything was rolled up in a ball. I remember vividly the day the Navy called and informed us that he had been shot and was being transferred to Hawaii. It was days before we knew his condition and his prognosis. During these times, even though I truly did not know what the war was about, I knew that what my brother was doing was important, and his country called him to serve. That was patriotism. So there's a story, okay? And then I'm going to give a couple more examples. My husband and I always fly the flag on holidays and special occasions, but not until 9/11 did I truly feel that displaying the American flag was so much more than unfurling the red, white, and blue banner on our front porch. When 9/11 occurred, I went home for lunch from work, and the first thing I did was hang the flag on our front porch. It was only a small display of patriotism, but the unity that I observed across the country for the people in New York by that small display made me feel like I was doing something. Not long after that, we installed a permanent flagpole in our backyard. We proudly display the flag 24/7, 365 days a year. It is our small way of saying we are proud to be Americans. My evolution of patriotism has taken full circle in recent years as my disgust for the current economic situations and the lack of leadership from our elected officials. I feel it is our duty as Americans to vote and speak up for what we believe is right or wrong with our political system. It is our expression of patriotism, and I believe an obligation. So there are my 3 examples, one primarily in story. From a young child to a responsible adult, my views of patriotism have become more complex. However, I believe that each of us in our own small way can continue to make America the greatest country on earth. I think Donald Trump owes me money because I'm okay, sorry. Whether it is putting hand over heart during the national anthem or registering to vote for the first time, our loyalty, devotion, and love of country is what patriotism is all about. This is an exercise in philosophy for you. You are allowed to give your opinion. What do you think things are, okay? This is 2012. I might go in and maybe rewrite that last paragraph a little bit, okay? Because never in my lifetime did I think that would happen on January 6th in 2000 and whatever year that was. What year? 2016 was, I would not consider that patriotic, you know? So, I think I might have to go back and, yeah, I think I might have to go back and rewrite that last paragraph, okay? So do we understand the process? Do we understand the process?
Yep.
Okay, let's look at some deadlines here, what we've got going on. Again, this is a standard 5-paragraph essay, very similar to the compare and contrast. It's worth the same amount, 50 points. 25 points will be designated to your rough draft and workshop, 15 for the rough draft, 10 for the workshop, okay? So our deadlines will be this. Here in a few minutes, I'm gonna hand out your compare and contrast to you and visit with you, since I'm finishing much earlier than I thought I'd take another 10 minutes here. But I want you to look at your compare and contrast and perhaps start working on it, okay? Let's get that compare and contrast finished up. On Friday then, if you don't have the compare and contrast finished, you'll do it first, okay? Because that will be absolutely 100% due before the other class on Friday. You will have that class period also to work on your definition essay. That's Friday. Following Monday, which I believe is the 4th, if my date's correct here, March 4th, we will have workshop on the definition essay, okay? Then we will have Wednesday the 6th to fix it, rework it. Friday the 8th, we'll do one more thing to finish up here, and we will wrap up the definition essay right before spring break, okay? All right? Grading rubric, page 109, for 50 points. Folks, this is a great opportunity by following these checklists to really up your grade. Especially like when I hand out the compare and contrast. Some of you have some work to do, most of it is minor. This is a great way to get some high scores and to really bump up your grade, okay? So take them very seriously. So if you have a denotative meaning, 10 points. Give your connotative meaning, 10 points. That means you're gonna say, to me, honesty is, all right? Give me different definitions or examples or however you do it. Restate your conclusion and work on your spelling, grammar, etc. 50 points, okay? This is not a difficult essay, but it's one where you have to make sure that you incorporate all of these things, okay? Incorporate all of these things. Questions on definition. How do we define this, okay? All right, I'm gonna hand back compare and contrast. I didn't know if we'd have time to do this, but I want to go ahead and give them to you and sit down with you and make sure that everybody understands what needs to be fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and just pass them out and then I'll come back around.
There's no one back there.
Maybe you should write your thing about winning and not be able to make it into the trash can.
You're funny, cause the thing is, I wasn't gonna make something about winning.
I figured you would.
I'm a winner, Joey.
Okay, so I'm going to sit down with each of you.
If we can get,
It did this, yeah.
but it's a whole new one.
Is this what we talked about? You said we was having issues.
Well, this is a.
This
whole
is a new one?
separate source.
Oh, that is a different one.
Yeah, that's a separate one.
Oh, I thought it was a continuation.
No.
Okay, then ignore that.
So just my girlfriend.
Yep, then just single space. Okay. So it's a whole, I was thinking that was the URL there. Sorry, didn't read it close enough. I don't think you got anything else to fix. Awesome. We need to talk to Mr. Nichols.
Oh, brother.
I know. I did not find any points. I know what you did, and I said that you could take an old essay.
I know.
But you took an old essay and did not follow the requirements of what you had to do. So basically, you gave us a recap of what happened on that event.
Yeah.
You did not give us points of what did the British do, what did the Boston do.
Okay.
Why?
Mhm.
I don't know if you wanna try to fix this, or if you wanna start over.
Yeah.
I'm almost gonna recommend that you pick two subjects and try to figure it out, because I don't know how you can actually take that
Mhm.
and make a point,
Mhm.
okay? I gave partial credit for turning it in, but you don't have a conclusion, you basically recap the story. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay, so,
I'll fix it.
take an easy way out. And that you're gonna try,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, so that's your biggest issue, okay?
I'll fix it.
So do some thinking.
Yeah.
How you gonna fix that? Oh, what do we got? Yeah, and just,
Numbers, I was just a little bit confused.
yeah, well, people do this because they text that way, and it's not written properly, so when the dollar sign always goes beforehand, okay?
Yeah.
Your points were clear, you just need to work on some punctuation, okay? Oh. Jamie, yours was mostly just some spelling punctuation maybe. Okay. Alright, if you go to, bring it up here, I'm gonna sit down beside you here, if you bring that up, you're in Word, right? Okay. Shoot, you do this, this is the math. Okay, so you wanna click on the front of your, you need to, we need to bring it up to, on view, where it brings the tabs, you know what I mean? So view, you're gonna bring in like, it's not grid lines, it's, is it the ruler? Try design, no, try view. And go to grid lines. Nope, that's not it, try ruler. That's it, okay, see this little hanging indent? So if you click on there and you pull the top one over.
Yeah.
Like that, just to the tab, so go where it lines up, there you go, okay? If you do that for each new one, and then make them single space, you fix it.
Okay.
Okay? I know I've had a lot of students that use citation machine, and they transferred over just perfectly with no issues, and then I had some of my other students in my other class, they didn't, and they had to go in manually, so. Some formatting. Yeah, just tell us what they are. You know, so in other words, instead of saying, so I'll try to explain it, just tell it, these are your thesis, okay? Do you have works, where'd you get your information from? Okay. Alright, so that's what I need. Just a few some changes in word choice, that's everything, okay? Yep. Points were clear. Like I said, everybody did a really good job on, point by point or block.
I do. I also had
Okay,
the-
help me out.
I had how much both of them would hold.
Okay.
With how far they go.
See, that's, I said your last points, these here should move up into,
It was just
What?
added on.
you know, we don't wanna add on, we wanna put it back into where the meat of it was,
And then
okay?
there was,
Okay.
top speed.
Okay.
That was back. 133.
Okay, and then the other one had, okay, and that's why I mark them, because sometimes I don't get them. So, got that, so make sure that
You just wanted to delete that?
no, do you wanna put these back, do you wanna add them? Okay, Okay, I would not put them in, then I would delete it. Then I would take it out, because it's not, it's just extra, that's where you should start shifting from that block to that, what about you're adding extra information, okay? Alright. I will make an adjustment on this, because you do have those 2 points, okay? So I will make a note of that. Whoa. That gentleman. No opinion. Right. You're very opinionated person. We gotta get rid of the opinion. That's your biggest thing, okay? And then on these 2 points, we talked about the color on the one, and on the other, and we talked about the silvers of one, but not the other. So we need to be fair and accurate here. So basically, you just need to go through and rewrite. Not
To rewrite the whole story.
Okay.
I thought you chose something
That's the
else.
biggest thing. That makes
I
sense?
did, but I had like
Okay.
comparing contrast, this is from high school. So, yeah.
Okay, so you did paragraphs.
Just turned it in.
I don't know why.
Yeah, same with the like single spacing. It's all
Now I
single spacing.
I get it.
You know, when you're
Yeah,
editing,
that class.
yeah, highlight it, so, and it might be single space, but then hit remove that from paragraph. So hit on your spacing,
So,
so go to your
Like the line
go to the
spacing.
line spacing. Yeah, go to line spacing. It says,
At the bottom, it says rewrite.
remove that from paragraph, remove that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I keep on clicking single spacing.
So, you need to go in alphabetical order, okay? For the point clear, a few minor things in formatting.
Yeah, the one thing I did.
I don't know, was that rewrite, as weird as it sounds, can you come up with better, sign, so maybe you will. Like a regional, like a regional, something like that. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Regional. Alright, whoops. And writing something. Now, you had sent me another copy, right? But you didn't have this back yet, so,
I just said it because I thought.
yeah, no. So you might as well just fix this, send it back in, and honestly. Great, okay. You need to finish, okay, what we have, I think, you were pretty in-depth with the whole thing, but you were talking about the Camaro. So, I was a bit confused with this paragraph. I'm trying to think, I don't know if you just want to finish yet, or whether you have it start, okay. So we need, so I couldn't really make any points here, because we're talking about different models of Mustangs, right? Okay. Right, so now we make sure that you have every one of those, and you know that with Camaro also, okay? So I think the point that you want to finish, I did not able to go through, okay? So that's your challenge. Well, let's see here, after 4, nothing 2. No, I think that's just, I scribbled that out because there shouldn't be anything there, I think it's gonna be a couple of things. Remember that proper nouns, brand names, Ford, Mustang, Chevy, always italic, okay? Okay, so, I didn't bring my laptop, so I can't see if anybody turned anything in. Did you turn in? Did you send it to me? Oh, I haven't talked to you yet. I'm sorry. Clear, mission real objective, this is just kind of. Really got the part. Works out just good. Just give us a very basic definition, okay, other than that, some punctuation, extra spacing, so other than that, okay? Yes, sir.
What did you want me to change here?
It's supposed to be, wash your car at home takes, Oh, I put okay,
Oh,
cause I marked it and then it was okay. Okay. All right, so, got a few minutes left in class. Make sure that you understand that these compare and contrast are due Friday at the end of the class period. If you get them done sooner, send them to me, get them done, get them out of the way. Friday will be a work day for your definition, okay? It will be due on Monday. Everybody got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you wanna wrap up, that's fine. If you wanna stay and work, please do so. Go from there, okay? All right. Remember, follow that rubric. Great way to get some awesome grades on these. Can you read my stuff, Paul?
No.
No?
What is this bracket at the beginning? Can we get that?
Oh, that just means that it's a new paragraph. You indented, down here's new paragraph.
Oh.
Okay. Remember, what does the word mean to you? 20 years from now, those of you that have had me multiple classes are going to know what denotated means and remember what connotated means.
I didn't know what college hair at all.
And then they're going to think you have a stroke. They're going to say, where did you get this information from? You know, Chris, just for you, I changed my examples, but there's no point in changing them now.
Did you, let me see on your computer, but I sent mine to you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did it on my computer, so.
Yeah, that's
I'll let you know if I got it, I'm sure I did. I didn't bring my laptop because I didn't think you'd get this far. I must have talked fast.
a little bit.
Did I too fast?
Not too fast, but you were going faster than usual.
Uh-oh. Slow down.
yesterday, I don't know why, I thought I had to try to create.
You were ahead of yourself, huh?
Yeah.
So now you can take a breather.
That was anything else.
So the main thing is now is to come up with your points for the Camaro, finish that essay, and then Friday you'll have time to work on the definition. I just figured we ready to start 9-week school when we're halfway there. Cause when we come back, and it's just, it's gone. And I promise not to make anybody do any work hours for me. Does February 29th have a special day because it's an extra day? It's leap year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we consider leap year. Okay. I knew there was a term, I couldn't think of it until I opened my mouth.
Yeah, it's on, what is it, every election year.
It's every 4 years there's a leap year?
Mhm.
Is it? I can't remember. I feel bad for people who are born on February 29th.
So today's my son's birthday, so.
Oh, you could squeak him in, huh?
Yeah, yesterday's my dad's.
Well, what do you do if you're born on February 29th?
I've read it, I got worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I probably should have, because it wasn't leap year anyway. But
Celebrate the day before, day
I'd
after.
just
Day
be
before,
so
day after.
super young.
If you say, yeah, early.
Yeah, age of, what
I
is
could
it?
be honest when I said I'm 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16, you're actually 4.
Until you wanna be 18, and then you'll be, you know, or until you wanna be 21. Oh, shoot. Paul, see ya.
See you Friday.
You got any tests coming up?
Not till after spring break.
Okay. Victor. Let me check my emails. I learn so much when I read these comparison terms. I do, I mean, I learn about things, and sometimes I have to look things up, make sure you're not pulling my leg.
This is pretty sketchy.
Yeah, there are sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm not so sure, or I'm calling auto, and I'm asking my husband, now wait a minute here, is this real? That's why I need these site sources. Okay, I'll be checking them and I will let you know if I got them. You'll just see if I got it, received, or what it might be for me.
I kinda rewrote some things,
Okay.
went off here a little bit of notes and rewrote, added, subtracted.
I learned something the other day, I didn't know there was a difference between a horse and a pony. I just thought a pony was a little horse. It kind of is, but they're actually,
A little bit.
they don't get any bigger than
Yeah.
a pony's a pony.
That's funny.
I read all sorts of things.
We'll see you on Friday.
All right, don't say that was too much enthusiasm.
I'm usually here.
All right, see you, Leland. Leland, be good.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
Just completely side thing.
Sure.
Has anyone or any other student had a problem with the school computer?
Is that one that you're,
School, yeah.
yeah, the battery life on it is not very good. You might go in and see if they switch it out for you.
Thing is, the ThinkPad I had better with
Yeah.
that, even though it was, way older.
You might, did you get that through Abigail?
Yeah.
You might ask her if there's, it's just not holding the battery, see if she'll give you a different one. I mean, seriously, check with her, because that one seems to be broken on that.
I do have a meeting with Miguel.
Okay, yeah, bring it up. It might be helpful.
I do like the design of this,
Yeah.
computer.
Cause I know that some of them that we have in the classrooms, the battery life doesn't last very long,
A
so.
coworker of mine who also said he went through ANCK, he said he had to have the computer.
Such a jacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost forgot, my dear.
Yeah, so, time or whatever, just ask her if you just want it out. Because then they'll have IT look at it and maybe replace the battery life, cause if you don't tell us, you don't know.
Oh, and, I saw a commercial for Jimmy John's, they had a toasted sub and I wanna try one.
So now you're gonna try it, really, Jimmy John's? It's gonna take a lot for me to go to Jimmy John's, that was fair.
Nothing much.
Are you waiting for Abby?
Yeah,
She's not a student there, but I can let her know that you're here.
okay, I'll just wait in the waiting room.